I guess it kind of looks like I live in a log cabin, even with my lanterns. I'm just out of the shower. I'm wet and shiny. Okay, this is different from me than... Oh, I gotta do an intro. Hold on. No, wait, I don't have to do it because it's in the title. I'm 50 years old. I'm almost 50, okay? I'm closer to 50 than I am to any other age. I don't have any friends, and I don't want any. Maybe this is like a log cabin. Maybe I'm a hermit recluse. I really am. That's how I prefer to live. It's harder for me to go back to the beginning like most people do with high school and everything because it was so long ago for me. But I will say that high school was exactly the same as it is now. There were people that really liked me, and there were people that really hated me, and I never really had problems making... I definitely have social anxiety, and I thought that I had it worse than everyone else, but the thing is, I can turn it off. I mean, I can turn on work mode. Like, if I have to get a job done, if I have a purpose, the social anxiety goes away. If I'm alone in a room with strangers for no reason, then I don't talk to anyone. However, this being said, that used to be the case. Not that I know what it's like to do it anymore, but once you get older and older, you figure out that nothing really matters. And I really don't care what people think, obviously, how I live my life. Okay, so I've been watching people on here, and I do get a little judgy. And I've always been a little judgy. Maybe that's one of the other problems that I have fitting in with people. I know that it's a reason why I don't want to have friends is because I don't respect other people's values very often. The more that I get to know someone, the more I'm disgusted by some of their habits and practices and beliefs. I like weird people, though. If you're weird, that's awesome. But if you have values that I don't agree with, then I just avoid the situation. I have so many things that I want to do and so many things that I want to get done. And that's so funny to say because I've never gotten anything done. I have a whole video on how I'm a huge failure. I don't even remember what I said in that video. But I am. But at the same time, I'm not, because what I know about myself is that if I was a millionaire, I wouldn't change a single thing about what I do in a day. My life would look differently. I'd have... Oh my goodness, it's my only problem is that I don't make any money. But that is the price you pay for not caring about money. Money not being your first priority. It's certainly not mine. Where do I go from here? Okay, I never drank alcohol. Liquid courage, that's what people call it. I knew that it would be so easy. I knew that that would solve all of my problems. So that's why I never did it. I knew it would be so easy. I know that I have an addictive personality. However, I don't think, because I did in my early 30s, I think I started experimenting with alcohol. And, I mean, getting drunk was fun, but I didn't need to. And it just made me feel gross, sluggish. It made my skin feel dirty. I've always been really healthy. That's one of the things that I have going for me. That's one of the things that I think some people like me because I'm healthy, which causes another problem because the only thing that I have going for me is that I'm healthy. And the older I get, the less healthy I can be and the less physically good I can look. And I've never looked that physically good. Nothing's ever been good enough. And that's my own judgment, but that's also, I know how people see me, and I don't want to go into that either. I do want to talk about how, I don't know what I'm doing. I have been being really judgy about the people that I see. These good-looking people with jobs that have wives and have no friends. And I can't believe what I'm seeing. I think that there's something else that they're hiding. I thought my social anxiety was worse than everyone else's. People argue that Nobody else can see your social anxiety. People could see mine. Friends, people who I knew, would point out when they knew I was feeling like a misfit, like I didn't, or what do you, I guess panicking, whatever you do, whatever's happening chemically in your body when you have social anxiety. People I knew pointed it out. They could totally see that it happened in the heyday, in my glory years. You know what? They were again in maybe my 30s and my 40s even. I had freedom because for the first time I wasn't in a relationship. I had just gotten out of a very long relationship. That was my best friend for a long time. That is the only friend I had. But when I got out of that, more of my friends and work acquaintances and people who were in your life, I ended up doing more things with, and that ended up going to events and things like that. And the way that I got through it was creating a purpose. So I would blog. I would, at the time, before social media, before Instagram and stuff, I would go to events and I would just take pictures of people. And it gave me a purpose, made me meet more people. Everyone liked to have their picture taken. Everybody liked to be seen. Everybody liked to have their picture up on the internet. So that worked for me, and that was the same in high school. I came up with solutions. I didn't belong. I was too unusual. I was too different from everyone else. And that's the other thing. I'm too different from even these people who don't have any friends. They're not even going to like me because my story is different. They can't relate. People don't relate to me. I have videos on here of why I'm broken. I've been trying to be really positive. It's only probably 3 to 5 videos away. I have already grown so much, and I don't want to focus on the negative. I've thought about all of these things. I have blamed people for who I am and how I turned out. I have come full circle, and I'm so happy. I've always loved the person I was. I've always been really proud of my values because, again, we go back to values. I think I have the best values. I'm always surprised at I can't believe how messed up people I see on YouTube are. Like, the people who have the most successful channels seem to be really messed up, and that's so strange. But sometimes I even hurt people, I think, because I know a lot of people from my past things I've done. I've done a lot of different things, so I know a lot of different people. But I hurt them sometimes because they'll ask me to do something and I don't want to do it, so I don't do it, or I say I'll do it and then I ghost them. I mean, I wouldn't ghost somebody one-on-one if it was a one-on-one situation, but if there was a party, I know that they have all kinds of other friends, so they'll be surrounded. All of my friends always have lots and lots of friends, and I'm really good at making good friends with people who have lots of friends, and it works out really well because just like on here, I'm super personable when there's a reason. It doesn't take me very long to be comfortable. There's a giant hurdle for me to get over. I guess an emotional hurdle, the social anxiety hurdle. Once that's over, there's no stopping me. I tell everyone everything. I don't hide anything. I love to talk about feelings, and I don't have any issue talking about social issues. The problem is that I know that the people who I encounter, I won't have anything in common with. I have humanity in common with people. I don't have experience. I don't have interests the same as people. Something I feel I need to say right now. I guess you could call it a mental block, but I'm just not good enough. Is it because I tell myself this? I know it's not just that I tell myself this. It's also being a jack of all, master of none. I'm okay at everything. I am everything. I'm a little bit everything. It's like I'm just a little bit shy of being smart enough, just a little bit shy of being handsome enough, just a little bit shy of being creative enough, just a little bit shy of being all of these things that I don't really have control over. Just a little bit shy of having enough work ethic to have any amount of success. And I'm okay with that. but it doesn't pay the bills. And I really hate business, and I hate this video is all over the place. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. I thought that I was figuring it out, but when I see people on here who seem to have everything, crying that they don't have any friends, it's the least of my worries. Friends got in the way. The reason I'm not in a relationship is because I get so resentful of someone else taking away my time and not being able to do things that I'm passionate about. And at the same time, it's my own fault, because when I am spending time with people, even a phone call with someone, I think they have to hang up. So I don't know if it's because I am so hungry for conversation. Once I get started, I cannot stop even listening. I mean, I can listen for just as long as I can talk, but I won't stop. The other person will have to stop. That goes back to the neglect that I've experienced in my life, because I remember being a child when I was having a good time, when I was with other kids and we were having fun. I wouldn't go to the washroom when I had to. I would sometimes end up pissing myself because I didn't want the good time to end. And then when you laugh and stuff, of course, you make yourself piss yourself. So I would pee my pants. I was a peer pantser. That's probably an example of oversharing. I'm not afraid to bare my soul, but I love being alone. It's probably the only thing I know, and that's why I like being alone. I don't long for friendship. It was fun when I did have good friends. It felt like being in a sitcom, but I don't miss it, and I don't want it, but I should make an effort. For the sake of other people. But I know that other people have friends, and that is why I do come here, and that is why I do it, to practice talking to people, and that's something that I really have to think about. I can't imagine doing this on Instagram. I can't put a video up on Instagram, but here on YouTube, I think it's because I know that people don't watch it or don't care. People from my past don't know or care to watch it. I think that's the good thing and the safety that I feel with YouTube, is that nobody cares enough about me to want to watch a video. I mean, there's probably one or two people. I see you. I know who you are. You're good people. For the most part, no one's making an effort. So I guess why would I? I'm trying. 50 years later, I'm still trying to set up a life. The truth is, it's all been work. It's me trying to make money just by being creative, just by doing something that I enjoy. And it's been successful in the way that I'm still here, I'm alive, but it's unsuccessful in the way that I can't do it to my best ability because I have to have roommates, because I can't afford to live alone, but because I have roommates, I can't make videos to the extent that I want to, and that's probably social anxiety. I can't let anyone hear me making a video. Yeah, I can't. Sometimes I'll get so frustrated that I don't care. It's like, I have to put out a video. Everything's ready for me to do this, and maybe I'm so pissed off that I'm out of control of my life that I'll do it. I guess that, again, is the purpose, allows me to get things done. Man, my coconut oil face is really shiny. So what you have to do to stay moisturized. Okay, hopefully that was good enough. I hope there has been a change in me. Anyway, I really don't need anyone, which is both satisfying and scary. It's not like anything else I've seen from someone. So then I think that maybe I do need people. Like, I do talk to myself. That's probably scary. I should vlog more. Again, I always have to be so quiet, and I don't want anyone to hear me. Really sucks. If I could just get over the hurdle. I don't need very much money. I feel that if I kind of have to change just a little bit, play the game. I'm so bad at playing the game, though. So stubborn. I need to be authentically me. It's such a cliche nowadays, but it's an age thing. I know everything else is bullshit. I don't want to pretend to be anyone else. It really sucks that this is the thing that I like doing the most when I'm so unrelatable. Yet I guess I'm not weird enough. See, I'm not weird enough for it to be interesting. I mean, I'm so grateful for the 100 people. There's like 100 people who will watch every single thing that I put out. That's pretty spectacular. That's enough to make it all worthwhile. Because in the real world, I might have only met a handful of people who understand, who get me, and haven't took advantage or fucked me over. Less than a handful of people. Anyway, if you're watching this video, it's so funny. I have no pillows. They're all over there. At night, no pillows. In the day, 5,000 pillows. I love you. Thank you so much. I love you. Oh yeah, why did I even make this video? No one can relate to this video. Me and some old man who lives in the woods who doesn't have internet.